Once again, WWE had a particularly active week in the world of wrestling. With new champions crowned and more details about future feuds made certain, it's clear the company is heading towards Extreme Rules and Crown Jewel at breakneck speed. There's a lot going on in the company at the moment, and with Triple H in charge, there's a lot changing. This is Wrestling Up, and we're taking a look at what WWE told us in the last week of programming. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Roman Reigns is going to defend his undisputed Universal title against Logan Paul at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. When this year started, this was not something that anyone could have predicted. Last week during SmackDown, Logan Paul made his way down to the ring. He had invited Roman Reigns on Impulsive. After Reigns left, Paul said that Reigns had said some silly things and that he was not the one that was the best in the company. As put against him, Paul felt that he would be able to beat him to become the Universal Champion. After being warned to keep Reigns' name out of his mouth by Paul Heyman, who had otherwise been praising Paul, Logan decided that he was going to challenge Reigns for the title at Crown Jewel and did so on SmackDown. The next day in the press conference, the match between the two was confirmed. While it's obvious Paul will not defeat Reigns to become champion, this match will get mainstream attention. Paul is a big name outside WWE and has cultivated a huge following. If that's the thinking behind this bout, it will be interesting to see how strongly the rest of the show is booked as WWE appeals to the casual fan. Raw kicked off with yet another title defense from Bobby Lashley against Seth Rollins. Lashley has been defending his title more and more often, most recently putting it on the line against The Miz inside of a steel cage. But also, as has been the trend, it's now been two matches where he got the win only after the superstar he was facing was distracted by another superstar they were in a feud with. When The Miz faced Lashley, thanks to his team up with Ciampa, Lashley was suffering. The duo had attacked and taken him out before the match, softening him up for later in the night. When the match started, it looked like Miz had the match in the bag with Lashley seemingly injured already, but that didn't matter as Lashley kept fighting back. Finally though, it all proved to be too much and Lashley was overwhelmed by the attacks and the continuous interferences from Ciampa that stopped him from leaving the ring. Miz took him out and climbed the cage to leave, but suddenly seeing Dexter Lumis below him scared him and that led him back into the cage. Once he was in the ring, he ate a spear and lost to Lashley. This week, the same thing happened yet again. He faced Rollins as the star tried to get a title, something he had not held in WWE for some time. But things changed when, after a long match to open the show, there was an interruption. Riddle made his way down to the ring, creating a distraction. This allowed Lashley to take advantage and get the win, retaining his title. While this allowed the feud between Riddle and Rollins to continue, it also allowed Bobby Lashley to appear strong once again, getting the win over Rollins. This was the fourth time that Lashley beat Rollins in the last 5 years, a feat that no one else has accomplished in that time. Down the bloodline were at one point after the match between Sami Zayn and Ricochet looking to outnumber and beat down Ricochet and Logan Paul. However, a returning superstar drove them off. Madcap Moss, who has been rarely featured ever since Triple H took charge, finally made his comeback in a big way. Moss was one of these stars who was pushed the most under Vince McMahon, but after Triple H came to power, it seemed that he was being pushed to the side. Moss made his return to save Ricochet and Logan Paul with a steel chair and chased away the bloodline. This was not it for him on SmackDown, as he challenged the new North American champion for the title later on that night. Sikoa won the match thanks to help from Sami Zayn. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn are the only two members of the bloodline who are not getting along. The two stars have been taking shots at one another regularly online, and this continued even during the press conference. After the conference was done, Zayn posted a picture of himself with the rest of the bloodline, standing and looking rather dominant. After a while, Jey Uso put out a post where he had blocked out Sami Zayn's face in a similar picture, keeping everyone else in there. The picture had Zayn's face replaced by a clown emoji, making no secret how he feels about Sami. What made things worse was that Zayn was the one invited out during Sikoa's match to help him against Madcap Moss, while the younger Uso brother told Jey to remain backstage. Jey didn't take that well at all, visibly getting angry and upset with the treatment that he was receiving from his own blood. Earlier that night, Jey had actively sabotaged Sami Zayn during the match. Over the match, Jey tried to interfere time and time again, and although it was looking like he was trying to distract Ricochet, no one could be sure of what he really wanted. When he finally did create a distraction, it was Ricochet who took advantage. Zayn got out of the ring to confront him, and for his troubles got taken out with a dive from Ricochet. The star then took Zayn in, hit the finisher, and pinned him. getting the win that he was looking for partially due to Jey Uso deciding to get involved. If he had not been involved, then Sami might have won the match, which has led to speculation that they are looking to sabotage Sami. This will probably lead to a falling out in the future and a feud between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Dutch Mantel in particular, among others, is really impressed with Sami and the way the story has been told. You see how deep the story is. They were patient with it, but I'm not saying that's all Triple H is doing because they were patient with it when Vince was there. So Triple H, all he has got to do is come in now and say, hey, this books itself. I'll just take my time and let it grow. The seed is already planted, and they are going to bust that out. The Maximum Male Models gimmick was dead on arrival, but now more than ever it seems that it might be coming to an end. Max Dupree, always a talented superstar, has been hinting that he might be reverting back to his old gimmick soon. Dupree referred to his old gimmick and appeared to go into his zone thinking about it. He said there will be a nightly return, indicating that he will come back as LA Knight sometime soon. The Maximum Male Models gimmick might be coming to an end as a result, and the entire group might either go their separate ways or become a more serious faction in WWE. Given the number of groups forming recently, the second might be more likely. NXT had something unique. Hank Walker, the security guard, came out to face Javier Bernal. Bernal disrespected him by slapping him, and that caused him to get in the match with more ferocity, taking his opponent out. He had a number of splashes before picking up the win. This was reminiscent of Santino Marella's debut, where he came out of the audience pretending to be a normal WWE fan before getting the win on the show. Walker might be in for a long career as a WWE star, as this was his NXT debut, although he was previously wrestled under a normal gimmick in NXT Level Up. WWE and Stalking gimmicks do not usually go along well with each other, given the past history of the company booking stalkers that turned out to either be creepy or in bad taste or absolutely useless. Be it The Undertaker trying to marry Stephanie McMahon or later The Undertaker's wife getting stalked by DDP, they have not done this gimmick any service. However, with Dexter Lumis, they have the perfect star for it, and they are giving it the booking that it always needed. Lumis has been hounding The Miz and has terrorized him, traumatizing the superstar. Now it appears they took it to another level, having him appear from under the ring, cutting into it, and trying to drag Miz or Ciampa in with him. While he was not successful, it was terrifying and hilarious. The gimmick and story are the most interesting things in WWE currently. And this is what WWE told us. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.